Hello there guys, and welcome back to the Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. So it's now Series 12 in Forza Horizon 5, the Horizon Road Trip theme, and with it we have a brand new festival playlist, which brings us 4 new weeks of content, 5 brand new cars, 3 brand new body kits, and lots more included within it. So today we're going to be going through the summer festival playlist, the wet season festival playlist in Forza Horizon 5, and I'm going to be giving you all of the tips and tricks that you need to unlock all of the rewards in this season, including the seasonal rewards that you can see at the end here, and all of the individual rewards for the challenges, and also how to complete each of them with general tips, tunes, and all of the bits in between. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. If you want to stick till the end, it'd be massively appreciated, and as I said, I'll be going through every single challenge all the way to the very right hand side there in this festival playlist. Let's first of all take a look at the seasonal rewards for this week then. So first of all, for 20 points, we have the Bentley Turbo R. This is returning from Horizon 4, however it is brand new to Forza Horizon 5. I still don't know why they keep doing that and claiming it is new content, but to be fair, I do quite like the Bentley Turbo R. If you would like a fun fact about this, it's not absolutely bang on, however it is quite general. This car has a very large engine, very little horsepower, and a very large top 0 to 60 time. It also has a very low miles to the gallon rating, as Jeremy Clarkson would say. However, he doesn't care, but I do. As far as I can remember, this car has a 6.7 litre V8, which produces between 200 and 300 horsepower, which is what you get double that from an Audi RS3. And the 0 to 60 time is pretty much too much to count, otherwise you'll fall asleep. And it basically doesn't do any miles to the gallon. However, it's a very cool car, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it can do in Forza. And then for 40 points, we have the MG3. This is another exclusive, meaning it can't be bought in the auto show or won in wheel spins. It is actually a pretty cool car. I've never actually tuned it for racing, I've only ever really tuned it for cruising, with a massive fat boy exhaust on it, just to make myself look like an absolute knob. But it is still a really cool car, and it was added, I believe, in Series 7, I think I want to say. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think it was Series 7. It was the one where we had all the Chinese cars, if that helps. So they are the seasonal rewards. And then the series rewards for the Horizon Road Trip series are the Audi RS e-tron for 80 points, a very cool electric car, rival to the Porsche Taycan S that we've already got in the game, which was added at the start for the first time in the Forza series. And for 160 points we have another exclusive, the McLaren 765 LT, a very, very cool S1 class road racing car, and also a really good cruising car. Sounds awesome as well, by the way. So they are all of your season and series rewards for this video, and as usual in upcoming videos I'll be going through the individual rewards for each season as we progress through the Horizon Road Trip series. Okay then, back to the summer season. Let's start with the Forzathon events for this season. So we're going to kick off by looking at the Horizon Forzathon shop, and this is where you're going to spend all of your Forzathon points from that you get from the challenges we'll go through in a second. So first of all, we have the 2008 Koenigsegg CC GT. This is a wheel spin exclusive, not available in the auto show. It is a very, very cool car, and it's also really good for S2 class racing. And it's just generally quite OP if you get the right tune and you're able to drive it properly, and perhaps not quite as OP as the Jaguar XJR15 and stuff like that. However, it was probably the most OP S2 class car in Horizon 4, and it is still pretty damn OP in Horizon 5, but it's also really, really nice to drive. This is 600 Forzathon points, which is quite good value for a car that is quite rare. I said that it's non-auto show, I'm pretty sure of that, but if I am incorrect, I'm sure somebody like Elf will correct me on that in the comment section. We also have the Ferrari F12 TDF for 400 Forzathon points. It's not quite as special as the CC GT, and it's quite a lot of Koenigsegg's with C in it, so I was getting a bit confused then. Like I said, it's not that cool, but it's still quite good value. Then we also have a Farid Wed Bear sundress for 75,000 points, although I'm not really sure why you want a picture on your dress. And then we have the Parade car horn, which sounds like this. And that is actually the horn I've got equipped at the moment. I equipped it just the other day, and I've been annoying people in the Eliminator with it when I've been challenging them to head-to-heads. And funnily enough, it's in the Forzathon shop. And that pretty much sums that up, doesn't it? Moving on then, we have the weekly hashtag Forzathon challenge, which is called Arbalist. I think I pronounced that right. This will get you 5 points towards the festival playlist, and it'll get you 80 Forzathon points or 160 Forzathon points if you own a La Casa Solidera house. So, Chapter 1 is called Track Weapon. I want you to own and drive the 2013 KTM Crossbow R. So it's not just the regular crossbow from 2018, the GT4 one. It is the R version from 2013, the one that's got the tiger kind of paint job. You want to go to the auto show and purchase that if you don't already own it. However, it is available in a championship later on in the festival playlist, so if you want to complete that and get it. Otherwise, you'll be paying 105,000 credits for the car, and I think my upgrades are about 100,000 as well, so overall about 200,000 if you want to use my tune with it. And speaking of my tune, you do not need to tune your KTM, but it might be helpful if you're wanting to make it a bit faster and a bit more fun, because the car stock is at the bottom of S1 class, it's rear wheel drive, and it's a bit twitchy, so you might want to download my tune. It's shared under my gamertag Shylo 2017 as hashtag Forzathon. And then if you want to download it, then feel free, you can create your own or you can download somebody else's, it doesn't matter, but I would recommend downloading a tune because it does make it a lot better for you. Moving on then to Chapter 2, Right on Target. This wants you to earn a total of 12 stars from speed traps in your KTM. So basically, go to any speed trap on the map. So I filtered my map so that speed traps are on it. Go to any that are within reach. So don't, for example, pick this one because your car cannot do 270 miles an hour. I know that for a fact. My tune currently does about 180 miles an hour. However, for this chapter I'm going to personally slide down the aero thing so it does about 200 mile an hour, but I shared the tune with the higher grip levels because it's better for all of the chapters. So you're going to want to pick a speed trap which has got an obtainable 2-star or 3-star objective, and then you're just going to want to do it basically 4 times. If you get 3 stars every time, you'll do it 4 times. If you get 2 stars every time, you'll do it 6 times, and just do the maths if it's any different to that. And basically, you just want to go, I can't speak, you're just going to go, oh, God, why can't I speak? You just need to redo it over and over again. So for example, if you picked the, why is my controller's glitchy, I do apologise, I need to get a new controller because the toggle is glitched as hell. So for example, if you pick the Estadio speed trap, it's 180 miles an hour for 3 stars. If you just went back and forward 4 times, then you would have 12 stars, or you might get only 2 stars on a couple of the runs, so just basically do it until it pops up and then you know how many stars that you've unlocked. For Chapter 3, for Chapter 3, Carbon Tub, this wants you to earn 5 air skills in your KTM. So basically, I would probably recommend going to the Dunas Blancas area, because even though you don't need ultimate air skills, the Dunas Blancas, the dunes basically are just the easiest way to get air skills quickly. So basically, fast travel here, do a couple of jumps, and you should have that done in about 10 seconds, because there's loads of dunes, as you can see from the texture of the map. And then finally, we have Chapter 4, Coral Wreath. This wants you to achieve victory in a road race. So basically you just need to win any road race. It can be a sprint or it can be a circuit. If you want to use an event like Blueprint, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it because it can kind of bug up your treasure hunt and do stuff like that, and it's just not really recommended. My personal favourite is the Reservoirio Sprint, which is located by the main festival here. I just love it because it's very kind of flowy, it flows through the corners, and it's just a really nice track, so I'll probably go and do this one. However, if you have a favourite track, either a sprint or a circuit, then go ahead and complete that. Make sure you win it, and if you want to make it easy for yourself, you can lower the driver time difficulty in the settings before the race. Okay then, so if you've completed all of them chapters for the weekly Forzathon, it will be completed and you'll have yourself 5 points towards the festival playlist and 80 or 160 Forzathon points to spend in the Forzathon shop. Regarding the daily Forzathon challenges, if you do not know by now, these are active one every day at 2:30 PM BST, because we're still in British summertime at the moment. However, soon it'll be going back to GMT, and they last for 7 days each. So basically, if you're like me, you might just want to wait for a couple of them to unlock and then just do 3 or 4 of them at once. Or you can wait until the very last day of the season and complete all 7 of them at once, if that's what you want to do. I mean, I wouldn't particularly recommend doing that, because then there might be a bit of stress on it, but doing them and not having to focus on coming on every day just means you can do other stuff on the game, or you can just have a couple of days off and don't have to worry about coming on to do the daily challenge. It's much better than Horizon 4, because in Horizon 4 they would only last for 1 day and then kind of pressurise you to come on each day if you wanted to get 100%, but for this you don't have to. If you're having trouble with any of them, if they don't make sense, you don't know what to do, you think it's bugged, or you generally just don't have a clue what you're doing, then let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Just leave me a comment, kind of give the name of the daily challenge and explain what it is, and then if I'm not on the game myself, I'll be able to understand what it is and be able to help you out. Okay then, so next up we have the seasonal events, so we're going to be starting off with the trial, then we're going to be going to the event lab, PR stunts, and finally the championships. You'll notice that there's more championships this season, and one of them is the Colossus, because each week in this Horizon road trip we're going to have one of the long races. So there's going to be road racing, and then we have the Juggernaut, which I believe is, I don't actually know what. Oh no, we have the Titan, which is the cross-country race, and then in winter we have the Marathon, which is street racing, and in spring we have the Gauntlet, which is dirt racing. So they're basically one long race each week. So that is the seasonal events we're going to be going over now. Okay then, so we're going to be starting off with the trial, which this week is called On the Road Again, and it will get you an Aston Martin DB11, and also 10 points towards the festival playlist, which is a hefty chunk of points for doing 2 or 3 races. So if you don't know how the trial works, basically you're on a team of 6 people. It's a co-op event, which means there's 6 people on one team and you're against 6 drivatars. So drivatars are basically the AI. They're really thick and they quite often like to ram you or do some cheat in some way. And so if they do that, don't be surprised, because it's quite a common occurrence. And basically you're working with your team, which are usually the blue team, to beat the team of drivatars on points. So by overtaking the drivatars you get yourself more points, and you basically got to get more points on your team versus the drivatars total to win. So if you win the first 2 races, then you don't have to do the third, and vice versa. If they win the 2 races, then you automatically lose. If it's 1-1, then it's the best of 3 basically. So that's how it works. And of course, try not to ram your teammates, because it's a team event. You're not racing your teammates, you're racing the AI. So please just don't try and unnecessarily overtake them if there's no need to. Okay then, so the restriction for this is A-class super saloons, and as suggested by the name, it is road racing. Okay then, so making sure that you don't get muddled up with the retro saloons, you need to go down and select these super saloons, and you will also notice that it's now arranged in alphabetical order when you go in the filter in your garage, which makes it a lot easier and a lot easier to understand, because then everything isn't in a really weird order. Alphabetical order just completely makes sense. So first of all, we have 3 Audis. So we have the 2014, why am I reading that? We have the 2013 Audi RS4 Avant. That is an auto show car for 83,000 credits. It's actually surprisingly good, and I quite like it because it's quite grippy and it has a really decent top speed. If you have this exclusive, because it's non-auto show, we have the 2018 Audi RS4 Avant, so it's basically the newer version. This time I've used the stock engine. It's also a bit lighter. It's also a bit nimble, but because it also has rally tyres, so it's quite similar to the 2020. I nearly said 2014 again. It's quite similar to the 2013 RS4. However, of course, it's an exclusive. So if you don't have it, then just revert back to the 2013. And then if you have Car Pass and you want to do something a bit different, we have the 2020 Audi RS3 sedan. This is using the 6.2 litre V8, so 551 horsepower. It is obviously better on the straights because of that, and it is quite heavy at 1600 kilograms, but rally tyres do mean that it can go around the corners, and it is a decent sprint and circuit car. Again, if you have Car Pass, we have the BMW M8 Competition. This is really heavy, so it doesn't go around corners very well. However, it's just quite a nice car to drive. We have the BMW M4 Competition from 2021 with its awesomely ugly grille and arse end that was available last month for 80 points in the festival playlist. This is a purist build, meaning it's rear-wheel drive with rally tyres. And then I believe that is it, if I am right. Yes, that is it. So basically a bunch of German cars. And just so you know, for any of you that are new to the channel, and I forgot to mention it just then, all of the tunes that I showcase in this video will be under my gamertag channel of 2017 unless I specify otherwise. So unless I specifically say who made the tune, it'll be made by me, because I do like to create my own tunes for the most part, so that basically I can suggest them to you and just get the feel for the way the car drives, in my opinion. Okay then, so moving swiftly on, we have this week's Event Lab feature, this time from Lupo de Wolf, or 9404, and they present High Speed Ring 5 Runden, and then there's whatever that is, Mexicanish version. I presume that means Mexican in German or something like that. This will get you a white dress, which is just completely stupid, and 3 points towards festival playlist. I have no clue what this event lab entails because I've never done it before, and this picture doesn't really give me any clue, so that's just a basic picture. However, what I do know is you need an A-Class GT car for this restriction. I have found as well that quite a lot of the time, the person who actually created it either made a specific restriction that's different to the one that you find in the festival playlist, or they just didn't have any restriction at all and then the developers had a restriction in for the festival playlist. But it's A-Class GT cars, and you will also notice that you need A-Class GT cars for the Grand Tourers Championship, so I'll go over that later when we come to that championship on which cars you'll be able to use for that one. Okay then, so now we move on to this week's seasonal PR stunts, and as usual, if you are new to the channel you might not know this, but as usual I'll be showing you the gameplay of each of them after I've shown you the tune, the car, and all of the details revolving the PR stunt. Again, this week I'm not going to be going and doing the Hot Wheels PR stunt because I can't really be bothered going over to the Hot Wheels expansion just to do one PR stunt. However, I will still go through it later in this video. So we'll be starting off with the Hotel Danger Sign. This will get you 2 points towards the festival playlist and a super wheel spin. It's actually quite a cool photo, that, I'm not going to lie, of the FXXK Evo. I do quite like that head-on shot, so for whoever took that picture, fair play. For this one you need an S2 class Anything Goes. And as you can see, it is over at the Hotel Resort. You need 155 metres for the seasonal objective, which is actually 2.2 metres more than my personal best, and you're going to be needing to, I recommend fast travelling to where my cursor is now, drive over the hill, and then you get a nice run up across the grass, take the ramp and land between the hotels. You'll see what I mean in just a second. And the car I'm going to be using for this is the 1986 Hoonigan RS200 Evolution. Okay then, so as I said, I've hopped in my 1996 Hoonigan RS200 Evolution with my lovely monster paint job. It's using the racing 7.2 litre V8, it's S2 class 985, and as usual the tune can be found under my gamertag. So we're going to carve our way through these valleys here. You can see I've set the destination just so we can kind of keep on track as to where we're going. And you can see the ramp up in front of us there, so we're going to get a run up off the little hill. And then we're going to absolutely send it, doing 145 miles an hour off the ramp, and there you go, 197 metres. I've never really done that danger sign in a fast car like this before, hence why my PB was a bit rubbish, but I've set a new PB and we've completed the seasonal objective. That one's quite easy as long as you get the run up correct. Can't really go wrong with that one, to be honest, and yippee, I'm on Prestige 2, yay! Okay then, so the second and final PR stunt from the main map this week is the Coast View Speed Trap, 2 points towards Festival Playlist and a Super Wheel Spin reward. For this one, you're going to be heading over towards the Lakabana house, the player house, and to the, whatever the hell that circuit's called, I've forgotten it. Yeah, I've forgotten it. 220 mile an hour is the seasonal objective for this one, and I would recommend fast travelling somewhere near this junction in the Dunes Blancas area, getting a nice run up. You're going to need a car with decent grip to get round this corner, and then along here you're going to get quite a lot of speed from this straight, and I know there's a bit of a hill here where you're going to get a speed boost as it goes downhill towards the speed trap, which is very, very helpful. So again, for this S2 class, anything goes, so we're going to be picking a very, very fast car. Okay then, so from my favourites section of my garage, I have chosen to go with the 2014 Porsche 918 Spider, purely because it's an absolutely mental car, with an absolutely mental tune on it, again found under my gamertag. However, alternatively, you could use the Ultimate Evolution Coupe. I've got 2 tunes for that. The rear wheel drive version has a higher top speed but is really hard to control. The all wheel drive version, not a high top speed, however, and the gears are a bit weird, however it's a lot easier to control. Then we also have the Ferrari 458 Italia. This was used for a Forzathon quite a few months ago, however it's very, very fast thanks to the Racing V12, found from the Ferrari F40 Competizione. Again using the same engine, of course, because that's where it was originated. And then we also have the Lexus LFA with the Nick Elgato paint job on it. Okay then, so let's give this a shot, and hopefully we'll get 2 out of 2 for the PR stunts 2 weeks running. Although I think there might have been 3 PR stunts last week, but let's just say 100% in the PR stunts, because if you're new to the channel, long timers will know that I quite often fail one or more of the PR stunts of the seasonals, because I'm just not very good at the game. that is the moral of it. So we got 216.5 miles an hour, so apparently it's harder than I thought. So unfortunately I haven't got 2 out of 2, and I'm going to have to go ahead and do it again. Okay then, so usually I wouldn't show the second or whatever number attempts to the PR stunts, however because it's quite a quick one, because it's S2 and we're basically going to be doing 200 mile an hour, I will show it. I think the key to this is getting round this corner quite fast. We tuck it in and then we can floor it out of the corner. I think that will be the key to us getting this completed, hopefully. Yep, 221.57 miles an hour. So basically, if you try and make sure you get round that last corner and are able to accelerate out of the corner rather than braking into the corner, and then that is essentially how you're able to get this Coast View Speed Trap completed in your Porsche or any other car of your choice. Okay then, so now we move on to the seasonal championships of this summer season festival playlist. I nearly forgot what I was saying and then ended up malfunctioned as usual. So there's 4 championships this week, and that is because it's called Horizon Road Trip, and each week, as I mentioned before, there is one of the longest races from each racing category. So this week we have the Colossus. So the Colossus is basically a seasonal championship on itself. Don't worry, you don't have to do it 3 times like you do with the other seasonal championships. You just have to do this once. So the Colossus is the longest road race, well, the longest sprint road race in the game, because obviously the Goliath is the longest race as a circuit. It is, I think it's like 30 miles long or something ridiculous like that, so it takes about between 15 and 20 minutes depending on what class you're in. For this one we're going to be using S1 class Super GT. Thank God it's not C class or B class, is all I'm going to say. It will get you 5 points towards the festival playlist and a 2014 BMW M4. I mean, for the pain of doing it I would have expected something a bit better for the reward, however I do quite like the M4, so I'll take an extra one of them. Okay then, so I think it goes without saying that if you're doing such a long race, you're going to want something that's going to be quite good to drive and generally quite fast, because otherwise you're going to have a painful 20 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. So essentially you want something that's grippy, so then you can speed through the corners, and if you crash you're more likely to catch up if you can fly through the corners, because as we all know the AI aren't very good at doing that, unless they are on rails, which sometimes they are. And you're also going to want a decent top speed, because otherwise you're going to be left behind on the straights, even by the AI in the S2 class. Abarth, obviously Abarth in the game, but let's just, gloss over that. So first of all, we have the Ferrari 812 Superfast. This is a rear-wheel drive kind of puristy weird build that I made once. It's got rally tyres with a 1,100 horsepower, a massive Forza rear wing, and that's about it really. Some decent brakes, maybe. It's not particularly great, however, if you're one for wanting a car that engages with the driver, then this is a very good choice for you. Then we also have, where are we at? The 2017 Mercedes-AMG GTR. This one is probably the car you want to go with if you just want to get on with it, because it's got 725 horsepower, it's got weight reduction. As you can see, the acceleration and launch are both 10 out of 10 thanks to the all-wheel drive. It's got incredible braking, and even the handling is pretty decent for an all-wheel drive swapped AMG. At 300,000 credits, just less, it is also quite affordable for a Super GT. So when it's 200,000, but let's just gloss over that. And as I said, it is the easiest to drive out of the ones I'm going to be suggesting for you in this video. And then finally we have the 2011 Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. Again, if you want a car that's engaging and even difficult to drive, if you're wanting a challenge, then this is the car for you, with 950 horsepower, weight reduction, rear wheel drive, and no tyres, and no brakes, or no cornering ability, then this is the car for you. So, take your pick and have fun. Okay then, so next up we have the Road Endurance Seasonal Championship, and don't worry, no, this isn't another Colossus or Goliath. This is indeed a championship with, I believe, 4 races. I think it's 4 races, but I might be wrong, so just don't listen to me because clearly I'm often quite wrong. For this, you'll get 5 points towards the festival playlist and a Chevy Camaro from 2015. And for this, you'll need an A-class modern muscle car, and obviously, hence the name and the symbol, it is road racing. Okay then, so first up we have the 2016 Cadillac ATS-V. So this one is tuned by Wolf Luxug 728, also known as Wolf by most people. And you'll probably see him in the comments. His YouTube name is Andrew IU, so you'll probably see him in the comments at some point on one of my videos, if not this one. This is a really good tune by him. It's got rally tyres, it's got that massive curving rear wing on the back, all-wheel drive, and 550 horsepower. Now, admittedly, the top speed isn't great. It's limited to about 167 miles an hour or something like that. However, it gets through the gears really quickly, and you get to make the most of that top speed pretty decently, and the handling is just epic. This car was originally made for dirt racing, hence the rally tyres and all-wheel drive. However, it's perfectly good on the road because rally tyres, as we know, are the most OP choice for A-Class in Horizon 5. It's quite an incredible build, so I'll try and remember to leave his gamertag in the comment section for you, not the comments, the description. I always get mixed up, so just ignore me. So that you can go ahead and download that, because it is a really good tune. Next up we have the 2018 Ford Mustang GT. This one is made by me, hence why it's worse. It's got nearly 500 horsepower, however it's really heavy. It's an all-wheel drive Mustang with a Forza wing, which is basically the biggest sin in the car world you'll ever be able to commit. However, the Mustang GT isn't the best of cars anyway, not only for looks but also for price. I mean, it's cheap, but it's a Mustang, so surely it should be expensive. And it's just not really very good, and that's made worse by the fact that I decided to tune it. But if you want to use it over Wolf's tune, you're an absolute moron, and if you do want to do that, there it is. And I believe that is all I have to offer for that championship. So you either pick a crap Mustang or you pick a brilliant Cadillac. You go ahead and be my guest. Okay then, so the third championship of this week is Track Toy Story. Again, it is road racing. We'll get you 5 points towards the festival playlist and a KTM Crossbow arm, which you need for the Forzathon. So, there you are. And for this you'll need an S1 class track toy. So if you're wanting to combine Chapter 4 of the Forzathon with the treasure hunt and this championship, then go ahead and do this championship, because why not? So, S1 class track toys, let's head over to my garage. Okay then, so first up we have the 2016 Dodge Viper ACR. This is tuned and designed by Dobra, who you will see in the comment section for definite, because he always has a battle with Ward to get here first to the comment section. So he is Dobra. His gamertag is Andrew #9565. I'll try and remember to leave that in the description again, along with Wolf's. So he made the tune for this with 667 horsepower. It's a purist tune, however it is really fun to drive. And if you like purist tunes, this is definitely the car for you. Design is also really cool. One of his more simple designs, but executed perfectly. And if you want to check out more of his designs and tunes, I would highly recommend it, because he is absolutely amazing at them. Then next up we have the Ford Shelby GT350R from 2016. So this is basically Nick's car, however that's a much better version of it, so let's just ignore that. So this has got 786 horsepower with 1000 Newton meters of torque. It has 10 gears, meaning that you go through the gears very quickly and it does get very sus. The handling is pretty decent thanks to the all-wheel drive and the rear wing, however you do get understeer with it being all-wheel drive. So I have committed two offences in this video, because I've converted a Mustang, a Shelby and a Mustang, to all-wheel drive and put a Forza wing on it twice. Yes, twice. So let's just gloss over that, shall we? And then we have the McLaren 620R from 2021. If you've got Car Pass, this is an absolutely legendary car, specifically with my tune, probably one of my best tunes to be fair. It's got 688 horsepower, it is very light thanks to the full race weight reduction, that's always a mouthful. Rear wheel drive, it is a purist build, but it is absolutely sensational to drive, and is very fast. And then we have the McLaren 765 LT. So if you haven't already, if you have already unlocked it and you have it before you get in it for 160 points in the Series 12 Festival playlist, then you can use it here. It's rally tyres, rear wheel drive again, it's a purist build, however it's got Forza wings, so technically it isn't. However, it's also very good, but I prefer the 620R. And that is about it for that one. So again, I've just waffled on about weird tunes. Okay then, and the final championship for this week is the Grand Tourers Championship. Again, it's road racing. We'll get you 5 points towards the festival playlist and a Caterham R500. Pretty cool car actually, so I'll take it. For this one, you'll need a Class GT car, so it's the same as the Event Lab, so now you're able to see the cars that you can use for this and the Event Lab. If you want to differ them between the two, then that's completely up to you, but I'll just show you all of the ones that I've got for you in my garage. Okay then, so first up for these GT cars, we have the 2020 BMW M8 Competition Coupe. So this is a Car Pass car, so if you don't own the Car Pass, then you will not be able to use this one. As I mentioned earlier, it is quite a boat to drive. However, it is quite good. It weighs 2 tons, so yes, it doesn't really turn. However, the power, you can put it down pretty quickly for a car that weighs that much, and it can shift well towards 200 miles an hour if you get it on a long enough straight. Alternatively, if you do not own the Car Pass, we have the Maserati Gran Turismo S from 2010, also known as the GTS. This is kind of a purist build, however it was featured in Steve the Pirate's video and he says it's an absolutely incredible tune, so thank you to him by the way. It's got 600 horsepower from its stock V12 engine. It is very heavy at 1,782 kilograms, however because of its big rear wing, its rear wheel drive and its ability to go through corners, it handles really well. The braking is just brilliant, and although the acceleration and top speed aren't great, the handling more than makes up for it, and it's just a really nice car to drive. Okay then, so now we move on to the next section of the festival playlist. It feels like it's going on forever, which is the challenges section. So this features the challenges, hence the name. I don't really know why I said that, but I just wanted to say something and make a fool of myself. So first of all, we have the treasure hunt, which is called Fast Track. This will get you 3 points towards the festival playlist and 100 Forzathon points for smashing the chest. That is if you are allowed to smash a chest, because I've been reading a couple of comment sections and I've heard that once again this treasure chest is bugged, and for some people doing a certain combination of things, it just doesn't work, or they unlock it and then they go and it's just not there. like it pops up saying they've completed it, and then it just disappears and stuff like that. So if you're one of them people, unlucky, I might be one of them people, we're about to find out. So at this point in the video, I do have to give a little spoiler alert, because in about a minute's time I'm going to be showing you where the treasure chest is located. So if you do not want to see that, then I either recommend pausing the video and going completing it yourself after you've found out what you need to do, or skip about a minute or two in the video, so that you don't spoil where it is if you want to complete it later. But I just have to include that because then people won't get cross at me, you know, just saying, okay. So the treasure clue for this week is stop playing around and be first to get this toy to the end of the road. So essentially with this one, you need to get in any track toy. So similarly to the ones you're going to be using in the Track Toy Story Seasonal Championship, and then you're going to want to go to any road racing track and basically win that road race. Now, with it saying playing, you would think it'd be Player Azul Circuit, right? And actually that screenshot is at the Player Azul Circuit, because you can see the houses are in Player Azul, but you don't actually have to do that. If your game is working properly, you should just be able to go to any road race on the map. So similarly to the Forzathon, you can literally just pick any of them, and you can actually use the KTM crossbow if you want to combine it with the Forzathon. So win yourself a road race, then go ahead and complete that. And then the treasure chest will, the treasure chest circle will pop up, and you'll be able to go and find it. So if you don't want to see where that is, then hold fire, because I'm now going to show everybody where it is. Okay then, so as we can see here, this is the location of the treasure chest. So we have the orange circle, similar to the way that barn finds work, and essentially we just got to go here and find where the treasure chest is located. Now, the interesting thing is, if you go back to your festival playlist, the icon where the treasure chest is located in the festival playlist will now have changed to a picture of a clue as to where it's located, as you can see here. So you can see that it's by a sign that says Apex, and if you know the game quite well, you'll know that in that circle is actually located the Apex Festival. So basically we're going to be looking right next to the Apex Festival, and that should be where we find the treasure chest. So let's go ahead and find it. And final alert that if you don't want to see exactly where it is, turn the video off now so that you don't spoil it for yourself. Okay then, so once you drive up to it, you'll be able to see where the treasure chest is located. So just for those of you on the map, you can see it's in the very bottom on the right, just below the Apex sign and just to the left of the Colossus sign. And it's just where the kind of semicircle, ovally kind of shape is. It's at the bottom of that shape, so at the end, the southern entrance of the Apex Festival. And as you can see, there's the sign that you can see on the picture in the festival playlist, and here is the road, main road going past here. I'm just going to reverse to get a bit of speed up, and I'm just going to floor it and smash through the chest. So that will get you 100 Forzathon points and 3 points towards the festival playlist. I also don't really know why it counts that as a bonus board, but I'm not really too sure. It's Forza after all. Okay then, so that links us very nicely onto the next challenge, which is the photo challenge, hashtag Apex Superstars. This wants us to photograph the 2013 Caterham Superlight R500 at the Horizon Apex Outpost. This will get you 2 points towards the festival playlist and a Star 27 jumper clothing reward. So you might remember you can get the Caterham R500 from the Grand Tourist Championship if you don't already own it, and you should already be at the Horizon Apex Festival if you've completed these in order. All you need to do is get in your Caterham and basically take a picture. Okay then, so I've not done anything specifically very special here. However, this is just a demonstration of the kind of photo you're looking for. So as long as it's got the Apex Festival and the Caterham clearly in the picture, there should be absolutely no issue with it at all. And it'll also contribute towards your Horizon promo if that's what you want to do. So very simple photo challenge there, and I might even use that as a thumbnail depending on whether I unlock the Bentley or not. Okay then, and the final challenge from the challenges section of this festival playlist is a winner is you Horizon Open challenge. This will get you 2 points towards the festival playlist and your winner Forza link reward. This wants you to complete any Horizon Open racing event, so simply go on your pause menu, head over to the online tab, into Horizon Open and complete any of these events. I'd recommend going for open racing or custom racing if you want to specify that, because it's the quickest and it's probably the easiest to complete. However, if you like drifting or playground games, then of course you might want to do that. However, on second thoughts, did it say a racing event? Yes, it did. Horizon Open Racing event. So either go for the standard open racing or go for the custom racing, of course. If the custom racing doesn't work, then just go for the standard open racing. I know that doesn't really make sense, however, that is just how I'm explaining it. Because I can't really think of any other way to explain it, so that's that. Okay then, so now we have the Hot Wheels events for this festival playlist. As usual, there is a PR stunt and a seasonal championship, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to be going over to the Hot Wheels expansion to film the PR stunt because I haven't really got time, and it's not really worth it given that it's a drift zone. So it's the Turbo Not Drift Zone, which I actually covered in one of my streams, you know, when I did that Hot Wheels stream, and then we were sweating this drift zone, that's the one. So it will get you 2 points towards the festival playlist and a super wheel spin. It's S2 class, anything goes, and of course with it being a drift zone you don't really want a grippy hypercar, you want a drift car. So I've got a couple of options for you, and I'll give you a couple of quick tips on how you can complete these drift zones. I've kind of lost the plot, to be honest, at this point. Okay then, so first up we have the better version of the two Shelby GT Thrifty Rs that I have in my garage. This is the S2 911 version. It has 1020 horsepower, it has a bit of weight reduction, and it's running stock tyres, which are sport tyres. It's actually really fun to drive, rear wheel drive, purist drift build, and it is actually really cool. However, if you're an all-wheel drive drifter and you want it done easy, then the number 777 Chevrolet Corvette Formula Drift car will be the vehicle for you. It's on drag tyres, again it's S2 911 class, which is a coincidence. It's got nearly 1600 horsepower, and it's an absolute beast. You can basically just send it, slam the throttle down, and don't really give a care about what you do, and it just drifts. That is basically that. It is such an easy car to drift, and that's the sum up of that drift zone. And if you're struggling to drift, what I can recommend is basically use the A button or the E brake, depending on what your controller is mapped as, to keep the back end out. I've just clicked that by accident. And keep counter steering, so when you're steering to the left, shift to the right and then steer to the right, if you get what I mean. So you're going to be steering the opposite way to which your car's pointing to keep the car sliding from side to side, and again use the E-brake to kind of keep the back end out to reel them points in. Usually the seasonal objectives of drift zones aren't too hard, and so you shouldn't have too many problems with that. But if you want a more detailed guide on how to drift, then obviously search it up on YouTube. Okay then, and the Hot Wheels Seasonal Championship for this week is called Orange Track Mind. It will get you a BMW M3 for 1997, 5 points towards the festival playlist, and I believe this is speed events or hazard, whatever. They might be combined, I don't really know. I haven't really learnt symbols for the Hot Wheels tracks yet. I think it's speed. So for this one you need S2 class extreme track toys, and there are going to be 3 races again, with it being a Hot Wheels Seasonal Championship. I'm not going to cut this bit out, because why not? Then you can see my terrible loading times. Okay then, so first of all we have the Ferrari F40 Competizione. We mentioned this before actually for the S2 Speed Trap, however it can also be used here. It's very grippy, it's got amazing brakes, and it's also got pretty decent top speed, which is kind of necessary on the Hot Wheels expansion, given the fact that you've got all them speed boosters and you need revs to spare. Then we also have the Ultimate Evolution Coupe. So again, we mentioned that for the Speed Trap, but it's actually more suited to this championship because it's a lot more grippy and a lot better on the brakes, and it has top speed. That is if you use the all-wheel drive version. If you use the rear-wheel drive version, it's completely the opposite, because the rear-wheel drive version is an absolute shocker, and it'll be very hard to drive on the Hot Wheels racetracks, in my opinion. Okay then, on the final section for this, and to give my throat a rest after this 45 minutes of talking, or however long I've been talking for, we have the monthly events, so basically the 2 rivals events. So these both require the same criteria, and that is to post a clean lap to complete, and they both get you 4 points towards the festival playlist. However, to avoid confusion in the comment section, 4 points is split across the 4 seasons, so the 4 points will be added to the series total, and then you'll get 1 point in each series. So if you add both of them together, you get 8 points in the series and 2 points each season. You don't actually have to complete them now because it's a monthly thing. You can leave them until autumn, winter, spring, and it'll add them respective 2 points onto each season and then the 8 points onto the series, if you get what I mean, just to avoid confusion. So you don't get 4 points for this season and none for the rest, because that would defeat the object of being a monthly event. You get 1 point for each week, so 2 points if you combine the both of them. So the monthly rivals is at the Bola Ocho circuit, and we'll be using the brand new 2021 Audi RS7 that we actually get for 20 points in autumn, so you'll see that in next week's video. So again, not again, I don't know why I said again, so you just need to post a clean lap to complete, so it's the same as the other one, so I'll just say this once. A clean lap is basically a lap that doesn't have an exclamation mark next to it, so you know that exclamation mark in a yellow box with the black writing, that basically means that it is flagged or dirty. You don't want that, you want it just to be a clean time. So basically avoid hitting walls because that will flag your time, avoid missing checkpoints because that will flag your time, and avoid being reset by missing checkpoints or by flipping your car if you somehow manage to do that, because that will also reset your time. Flaggy time, I mean. God, I'm half asleep now. So by doing that, you'll get yourself a clean lap. So if it means you want to drive around at 40 mile an hour or whatever speed just so that you complete it, fine by me. You don't actually have to beat your rival. That might be confusing with some people. You don't actually have to beat your rival because you're just posting clean lap. You're not like beating a rival or whatever like that. So the same applies for the Forza EV monthly rivals at the Emerald circuit. The only difference is you're a different circuit and you're in the Audi RS e-tron instead of the RS7. Basically the only difference. Okay then guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's been a bit of a scruffy one compared to my usual standards, and especially compared to the standards that I proposed in the 2-year anniversary video that I posted on Monday. If you haven't seen that, by the way, then I would recommend going and watching it, because it took me 3 or 4 hours to produce and edit and upload and everything like that. So it'd be greatly appreciated if you could check that out, because it did take me quite a lot of time, and apart from the time aspect of it, it was just really nice to make, and it was a really nice homage to all of the memories that we've had on the channel since it was created 2 years and 3 days ago now. However, it was obviously 2 days on Monday. So again, apologies for the video being a bit scruffy. I've kind of been a bit half asleep. You know, you sometimes have them off days with different things. That I've kind of had one of those today where I've got my words mixed up. I haven't really explained things as I would do in a formal kind of way, and I've just kind of been a bit off form really, but so I apologise for that. However, I've still managed to get the video out to you, and hopefully you still understand what I'm saying, even if it isn't in proper English, because I'm kind of getting muddled up with my words. So as I said, thank you so much for watching this video guys. Go and check out that 2-year anniversary video, and do consider subscribing to the channel if it helps you out. Let me know of any issues or queries you have in the comments, or just general chat, and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you and reply to your comments and all of that jazz. And I shall see you in the next video, whenever that will be. It is a mystery because I do not know. I don't know, so you don't know. So I'll see you then. Bye.